introduce the 2012 honoree for the Coolidge Award, Mr. Viggo Mortensen. Thank you very, very much.
I really enjoyed working on those movies. Learned a lot. You can learn a lot on every movie if you want to. And playing Laline and Carlito's Way was a really interesting experience. We did a lot of research. We got really ready, as I usually do, and really liked it. I really enjoyed working with Ava Aguado a lot. I think that the reason they didn't show movies like that is, they can only show so many this week, but because I only had one scene, I suppose, or in the Prophecy I only have a couple of scenes, 2 or 3 scenes. But yeah, no, it's. When you bring that up, it makes me think, what year was that? And then I realized, I have been doing this for quite a while. And I'm usually surprised when I stop to think about how long it's been. And when you're given an honor like this one, you're forced to think about that a little bit. And it's like, well, maybe that's a human thing. I guess I'm older than I think. I'm doing this longer than I thought I had been. They're full of obstacles. Well, how do you do that? What's a guy like that's that way, that's in a wheelchair, what's his background? How did he get there? When did he come to New York from Puerto Rico? And how much of an accent does he have? So forth. Lucifer. Well, it's hard to do much research on the guy, there's not a lot of pictures. I've met some people that I would have thought, well, I recorded that person's voice, that's probably close to it. No, you use your imagination, and it's not starting from square one, but in some sense, there's a little of that. Because although I approach it the same way, I always ask myself what happened between birth and page 1 of the script. Whatever's not in the script as far as references to the character's past and so forth. Gotta make it up. And I like to. You don't have to, actually. But that's what I like to do, because it's part of that make-believe, that play acting. It's a very, childish activity that you refine as you go on as an adult. Related. They're all branches of the same tree, so to speak. They all have to do with this way acting as a kid. Their artistic activities have to do with paying attention, trying to understand where you're paying attention to, filtering it as you do, without even thinking about it, and then trying to recall it, trying to remember it. Maybe express what it is you think you saw or felt, or heard. And I think that just being an artist in general is what everybody does it on some level, I think, whether they realize it or not. It's how you listen to somebody in a conversation, or you're paying for something at the store, not thinking, oh, life is short, I'm going to die someday, I should treat everybody well. No, sometimes you're rude or whatever the way. But it's really about, you make the choice in how you look at someone, how you listen, how you answer. You have to be some sort of saint, but time is short, and you're not going to get that moment back. They're not as profound, in terms of literature, in terms of originality, in terms of the foundations, what the Lord of the Rings is about, in terms of mythology and literature. The scope, it's just, there's a lot more to it. So those movies, that Peter Jackson made, because of what the foundation is, Tolkien, there's something that's going to last, no matter how maybe some of our acting or some of the special effects or the cinematography maybe won't age, which is just the nature of the business, It's the way it is, the technology. I think that the stories hold up and always will hold up on some level. There's, I could feel that in some sense from the people. So why are all these people here tonight? was on stage last night. Why are they so? It's more than just, you know, I love Legolas or something, you know. In some cases, maybe it's only that. No, but I think that there's something very profound about that, about those stories, and thought-provoking. They could have used some editing, but you know, so could the Bible. But who's gonna... I drove here, got here last night, got here late, and I knew they were showing the movie, so came down and introduced the third one as a surprise. And the reaction to those people when I walked in was amazing. And it reminded me of when we were releasing those movies, particularly the last one, Return of the King. There was such, you know, for example, the very last time that I did part of introducing screening of the Return of the King was in Oslo, Norway, in December of 2003. And I have to say that as crazy as the people were last night, those people were, I don't know if anybody's as crazy as that. Because Norwegians, you know, Tolkien's work is based on, heavily draws on Nordic mythology and literature. And so I did something similar there. We did our press, and then the next day they were going to show, the other day, in the movie theaters, and they were going to show The Return of the King. And in one of the larger theaters, nicer theaters in Oslo, people had been lining up for a month, all in costume. Elves, Coolidge dwarves, wizards, you know, fair maidens, all kinds of stuff, and with their weapons, with their props, for a month. And this is winter in Oslo, snow, and people were on the sidewalk for a month in sleeping bags. People bringing them soup and coffee and internet connection, and you know, first aid, and, you know, psychiatric counseling, and you know, I talked to most people afterwards. Some of them got divorced as a result of, you know, really, you know, a lot of people, their relationships broke up. It was a pretty big ordeal for them. And so when I walked in there, and they didn't know either, well, whether there was an introduction by the theater person or the distributor, I can't remember what, and the lights went down, and then I sort of snuck out. And the lights came up, and they completely melted down. And it was, I mean, I was shocked. I'd never seen anything like that. There was a theater, maybe twice as big as this one, or more, and every single person was a wizard, was an elf, was a dwarf, and they were screaming, waving their axes and their staffs, and crying. I think also the fact that they'd been lying in the snow for a month it was a big release. But anyway, last night was akin to that. There was something about it. And I suddenly felt, I have to say, very, very nervous. And I referred to a song and sang. I was so nervous I couldn't sing it properly. But at this point, it'd probably be, unless it's some story about some guy coming out of retirement and shocking everyone, I'd probably have to direct it or something. So, no, I'd be open to it. I like good stories. It doesn't really matter what the setting. I'd like to try that at some point. I do like everything that goes into movie making, and I like actors, which is a plus. So I find that there's that many directors that I'm confident like actors or see them as more than just tools. But,